What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color. Today, I just wanted to do a little spotlight on a very, very small independent boutique label that I just got my first release from. I actually pre-ordered this towards the end of last year in the fall, and it just arrived. There was a little bit of a delay, no big deal. It is here now, and I just got the package in the mail, and I'm gonna go ahead and open it up and show you what I got. This is from a label called TerrorVision. Like I said, very small independent label. I think they put out mostly horror stuff. I'm not super familiar with them. I don't think a lot of their stuff would appeal to me, but this release is something that I was very excited about. It is an early silent film all the way back from 1911, around the time Georges Méliès was working, which, you know, I'm a big fan of his work. So I was very excited to check this out. And luckily it just came across my feed one day and I was able to pre-order it before they sold out. So very happy to have this. I even got the limited edition slipcover version. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the package and you can see what's inside. So the first thing we have in the box is a little note that says, "Thank you for your purchase and supporting our independent label. Your order was packed by Brandon." Thank you, Brandon, for packing my order. And then there's a customer service email for questions and comments about your order. And I can personally say that their customer service is excellent. I emailed them a few weeks back because I was a little worried that they had shipped them out and then I just didn't get mine for some reason. So I sent them an email through their website and they got back to me like within the hour. Like immediately I got a message back and she said that no, they hadn't sent them out yet. Don't worry. There was a little bit of a delay with the disc, but they would be sending them out as soon as that was fixed and as soon as the discs were printed. So great customer service. And I can't say enough good things about that part. A little bit of merch here. We've got a little sticker that they sent out, the TerrorVision sticker, which is always nice. And then a little ad for some new releases. There you go. You've got some new releases. Like I said, looks like mostly horror stuff. It does look like they have Monster Squad on there, which is really cool. I didn't know they had put that out. But then inside, we've got it nicely packaged in some bubble wrap, and the box is the exact same size as the slipcover, so it's not bouncing around in there, which is nice. Full disclosure, I did already open this and pop it in the player and watch a little bit of it, but I wanted to put it back in here so you guys could see how it was packaged. But there it is, look at that. Dante's Inferno, all the way back from 1911, the Italian silent adaptation. Who was I stoked about this when I saw it. Like I said, it just came across my feed one day. I had never gotten anything from TerrorVision before, but I guess the algorithm knows me and they know I like this kind of stuff. So there it is. Look at that slipcover. There's the back. So this is the limited edition slipcover version. You can also just buy this version. I think it was only like $5 more or something. Don't quote me on that, but it was cheap enough that I went ahead and got the slipcover version when I pre-ordered it last year. And here is the disc art. Look at that. Like an engraving right there on the front. It says moving picture sensation of 1911, Dante's Inferno. Like I said, this is an Italian adaptation. It has 3 different directors whose names I will not attempt to say because I will absolutely butcher them. But you can read all about it on their website. I'm sure they have all this information there. I will read a little bit of the back here. It says this was one of the first feature-length films ever created. Not just first feature-length horror films, first feature-length films ever created. This is especially significant to us because it was one of the first horror films ever shown on the big screen. So there you go. TerrorVision fits right in their wheelhouse. It was made over the course of 3 years from 1908 to 1911. What they were able to do in those early years with special effects and very few rules is remarkable. And that's where this really appeals to me. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Georges Méliès, father of visual effects, learned a lot about him in a couple courses I took in college, and I'm just fascinated by the very beginnings of visual effects, mostly in-camera stuff. All the stuff from that period is fascinating to me. So this is based on the poem of the same name. You've got Dante, the lead, guided through the 9 circles of hell, an allegory for his sins committed by humanity on Earth. And then this is a 4K restoration from TerrorVision, from the surviving elements. It is only a Blu-ray disc though, it's not a 4K disc. And this is gonna look like a film from 1911. Like I said, I popped it in, I watched a little bit of it. It is very damaged, obviously. It's not gonna look like a 4K like restoration that came out for a movie from the 90s or 80s or something like that. It looks like a really old film. You gotta be used to that, be prepared for that. I'm used to that kind of stuff. I kind of like how it looks. I like the aesthetic. I think it adds to a film like this. But yeah, obviously it would be awesome if we can get this like perfectly restored, but I think they did a great job with what they had. Obviously, I don't know, I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what the prints look like, but I'm sure they're working with like very, very old damaged prints. And they do a ton of different versions, which is very cool. I'll show you the menu here so you can see what I'm talking about, but they have the tinted version of Inferno, which is TerraVision's 2024 restoration. They also have a red tint version, which is Redwood Creek's 2022 restoration. Then they have a black and white version, which is Redwood Creek's 2022 restoration, modified by TerraVision. And then they have a black and white version of Inferno alternate restoration cut. So this is very nerdy, very detailed, very granular, and you got to be a super big film nerd to be into this kind of stuff. But all kinds of different versions. Not only do they have different visual versions, but they also have different audio versions. So there's also 4 different audio tracks that you can listen to while you're watching it. There's one with a score by Graveface recording artist Haley, one with a score by Mike Kicker, I believe. I don't know if I'm saying that right, Mike Kicker. And then there's one other score by Laurent Pigelet. I'm gonna stop trying to say these people's names and just put it on the screen because I'm doing a terrible job. And then there's also a commentary track by film historian James L. Nibar, which is awesome. I love commentary tracks and it's really cool. So 4 different visual versions and 4 different audio versions, getting a lot of bang for your buck. And then also, just like most boutique label releases, you're getting a booklet in here as well. So there's the disc art. Same artwork as the slipcover, which looks great. And then this is the booklet, which looks awesome. Got the big bold fonted type right there on the front. You have an essay in here called Welcome to the Ninth Circle by Brad Henderson. And it is a full-length essay. And there are some photos in here as well, so you can get a sense of what the film actually looks like. I will say I was surprised when I popped this in. I thought, like I said, it was going to be closer to a film by Georges Méliès, where he does kind of what they call trick films, where it's mostly just a little short, like 7-11 minute film, and it focuses on one special effect that he wants to prioritize, or a few different special effects. Obviously, he does more ambitious things later on with Trip to the Moon and The Impossible Journey, but his early stuff was like basically just a magic trick on screen. You would just have one little effect like, oh, his head comes off, or he jump cuts to another scene, or those little kinds of early visual effects. And I was expecting something similar to this. There's that Georges Méliès set from Flicker Alley that I really like. I've talked about that one before, but 3 years to make. This was very different. This is an epic. This is one of the biggest silent films I've ever seen, especially from this 1910s era. Like, this is crazy what they were able to accomplish this early. I'll go ahead and show you some clips from the release trailer here. Hopefully TerraVision doesn't mind if I do that. There are tons and tons of extras. There's these elaborate sets and all of this coordination and what's the word I'm trying to think of? Choreography. That's the word I'm trying to think of. There's this scene where like Death or whichever, I don't know what the actual character is called, but he's rowing the ship to take the people into hell. And there's like all these people, like tons of actors, like all these guys just like jumping off the side and flailing around, falling into the boat, falling into the water. It seems like it was an insane thing to shoot, especially back then. And on top of that, you've got all these brand new, like groundbreaking special effects that he's doing. You've got, which I don't even know all about. I have to watch the commentary and like do some research to even know how they did some of these things. There are a lot of things like what Georges Méliès would do, like you can see right there on the back where he's removed his head, and you've got some forced perspective stuff where there'll be like a big demon character in the foreground. So there's a lot of techniques that I do know, I am familiar with, but there's some other insane stuff as well that really got me excited because I don't even know how they did some of it, which is always great. I did try to flip around while I was watching it to some of the different versions to see the difference in the audio. 2 of the audio tracks are mostly piano score. I think one of them is all piano. One of them is a little bit more instrumentation, but it is still very much feels like a silent film. But then one of the audio tracks was like a completely different feel. It was like just this ominous, like droning, like horror music almost. And I really like that one. That really added to the feel. It went with the visuals perfectly, and I really like that one. But I'm sure I'll listen to all 3 of them at some point. I do want to watch this through a couple of times. It's not that long. I think it's only like an hour 20, which for this time period is pretty impressive. But nowadays I'm used to much longer films, so I can pop this in and watch it a couple times. The audio commentary does sound really good as well. I listened to a little bit of that. He seems very prepared and planned ahead and knows exactly what he's going to say. He seems very knowledgeable and very informative. So I did enjoy that. And that was really nice to watch because I'm going into this pretty blind. I know nothing about Italian cinema from 1911. So very thankful that that is there as well. But overall, man, I'm just excited to check this out. I didn't even know this existed. This was not on my radar at all. So thank you so much, TerraVision, for putting this out there. I'm gonna keep an eye on their future releases. I don't know how much stuff they'll put out that will appeal to me, but if they put any more stuff out like this, I will definitely be down to pick it up. This feels just like a slipcover from Vinegar Syndrome or Yellow Veil or Deaf Crocodile, one of those other independent labels. So I think they all come through the same place, but the packaging looks incredible. I love all of the art and all of the care that went into this. Very happy with the release, and I just can't wait to watch the rest of the film. But let me know in the comments if you have heard of Dante's Inferno, if you're familiar with this adaptation. If you know anything about TerraVision, I'd love to learn more about it. Like I said, I'm still very new, but I just wanted to put this video out there because I was very happy with what I got, and I wanted to spread the word as much as I can about things that people might not be aware of. I know I have a very small channel, we have a very small audience, but I wanted to support them as much as I could because I really, really believe in physical media and boutique labels like this, especially independent ones. They need our support, and I want to do everything that I could. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you'll learn something new from this video. If you like this kind of content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. It would mean the world to me. But until next time, keep collecting, and I'll be back with another video real soon.